What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna get week 2 of recruiting done. Not very many names for C1 and C3. There's a couple for C2. So we're just gonna kick things off with C3 this time, go in reverse order. First up, we've got Jaden Radell going to Michigan State as a solo. We got Hughes. He has exactly 6 teams on him. So we do not have to use that other tab. We did have one team that did not meet the 8% threshold for 6 or more teams. I believe Rice had 6% on them, so not eligible. If you're unaware, just they're in the bylaws. You got to be at a certain percent depending how many teams are in on that player. All right, so 6 teams exactly. We've got Wisconsin, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, right, pretty much neck and neck, 17, 18, and 19. And then you got Michigan State and Auburn just a little bit behind at 11 and 10%. So it's not going to be Michigan State. It's not going to be Vanderbilt. It's going to be Missouri. Congrats, Missouri. So that is going to be C3. Like I said, just those 2 players. All right, let's switch over to C2. I had a little bit of a error on here. I had a team in here for McCray in the 4th place position. Unfortunately, they only had 10%, so I did not catch the fact that they did not meet this 13% threshold over here. So I re-randomized the numbers a bunch of times, reset it. So we'll kick things off here with just 3 teams in on McCray. So it's Michigan and California, and then Penn State a little bit behind at 22%. So it's not going to be Michigan. It is going to be California. All right, so Cal wins McCray. Shifting over to McClure. We have 4 teams on McClure, all of them above the threshold. We got Georgia. We got Georgia Tech duking it out, 26% each. Ohio State right behind them, 25%. And then Cal right behind them at 24%. It is not going to be Ohio State. It is not going to be Georgia Tech. It's going to be Cal again. Joel taking two away right from the start. All right, and the next 2, Prieskorn is a solo to Tennessee, and then Landon Thomas is also a solo to Tennessee. So there's your C2 players. We're going to shift over to C1. We do have David Amador, who has 7 teams on him. So once I get done the other 2, we'll shift over here to this other more than 6 tab, and we'll do that over there. So right off the jump, Deuce Adams is a solo to Florida. We're going to come down here to McCutcheon, deciding between Oklahoma and UNC. Going to go to UNC. Congrats to Nick. All right, so we're going to jump over here. If you watched the show last week, you know how this runs. If you didn't watch it, the block here is always randomized. You see the formula in there. So every time you click this box, it changes the team that wins. All right. So the first time that I pick this, that will be the winner. And kind of like this, I'll paste it down here. So David Amador is decided between Oklahoma, UCLA, Pittsburgh, Stanford, Miami, USC, Arizona State just sneaking in there. There was another team right behind Arizona State, but they did not meet the threshold to compete for Amador. I believe it was Florida, and I believe he was only about 5%. So there we go. Who is going to win the signature of David Amador? It's going to be USC. Congrats to Colin. And as you can see, once I put that in there, it does still randomize. So USC is going to win the signature of Amador. And that is going to wrap up week 2. The way that I'm going to probably work week 3, since we're only doing 4 weeks, if a player has enough points to commit, I may bump up the possibility to 50-50 or 33% chance. That way we can get a bunch more names going, and they're not all waiting until week 4. So make sure you get your points in by Saturday night, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time for West Coast guys. And then I will get those names sent out on the leaderboard Sunday. If I have time, I will do the commit show on Sunday. I've been taking a lot of time for those of you that are in the GM league, trying to get free agency ready to rock and roll in that league. So make sure you get your points in, and I will talk to you next time.